You're in your head fighting big demon man, bow arrow kill, and she's like... Okay, I understand it took me a decade to make this. Granted that Far Cry 3 came out in 2012, but I thought somebody must have talked about what I'm going to bring up today in this video. But when I was checking out videos about Far Cry 3, all that really came up was why it's a masterpiece and what it did for the landscape of gaming as a whole way back in 2012, which is great, and I definitely think Far Cry 3 was probably the game of the year in my opinion for that year. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. So just getting straight to the point, because you see the thumbnail and you know what this is going to be about. When I was in 8th grade, I received the game as a gift from my parents, and obviously if they had looked into the game at all, besides what I put on my Christmas list, they probably would have not given me it, because you know exactly about what I'm talking about, or if you've played the game, which is, you know, boobies, you know, milk wagons, the big bazookas, titties, you know, yeah. Now, while Far Cry wasn't the first game to put, you know, the memories into a video game,
that award would have to go to Bachelor Party for the Atari back in 1982.
It was the first game that I personally got to, you know, see them with that many pixels and come across it in a game myself. So I was overjoyed, granted, you know, being a 13-year-old boy. It was like the best thing ever. It's not about the nudity itself. It's the circumstances in which you come across the nudity that I want to talk about. If you had any experience playing Far Cry 3 and I asked you what happened to the game, you would have probably said something along the lines of, you're a rich kid, Jason Brody, you get kidnapped, you know, by pirates when you're trying to go skydiving. Brother like just gets shot in the head, he gets domed off, you become a warrior, start slaying the pirates that kidnapped you, kill Voss with a knife, or Voss, I think it's Voss, and you start banging a bad bitch that, you know, leads the rebels that fights against the pirates. Now, what I'm sure you wouldn't bring up is the bad bitch that you were mentioning. His name is Citra, the leader of the rebels, drugging and then sexually assaulting you being Jason Brody. Now look, you might be looking confused. I didn't realize it the first time that I played it either. Matter of fact, I didn't realize it until they had a sale on the Xbox Series X like 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to take a trip down nostalgia lane. And while I was playing the game and the campaign, as you normally would, as soon as we get to the scene, I realized something was a little different than how I remembered it. The first time you have sex with Citra, you are like 1000% gone. By gone, I mean like f***ed up. Basically what happens is Citra's saying, like, trying to let you find your higher self or whatever the spiritual journey she wants you to take you on is, but she gives you like a bowl out of like a wooden bowl, and it's full of like some juice. And you drink the juice and she's like, it's poison, strong warrior survive, you know, drink it if you're not scared. Sexy leader voice. Being Jason the Giga Chad, you're like, okay, fuck it, and you drink it. And all of a sudden you're fighting like this demon god thing with a bow and arrow, and you're just blasting him in the face, which is a really cool boss scene. But as this is going on, and you're just in your head like probably drooling on yourself, fight this demon that's only inside of your head, which is the poison that she gave you, I guess. Or mushrooms, whatever it might be. In the real world, she's having sex with you and you have no idea what's going on. You literally come out of the trip and your hands are on her titties. You see where I'm going? You see where I'm going with this? I don't think you were able to give consent in this scenario, probably, if I had to guess. You're in your head fighting big demon man, bow arrow kill, and she's like just on your thing, doing her thing, and you have no idea what's going on. When you come out of it, you don't even question it. You're like, tell me who I am.
Tell me who I am.
Jason, yo, are you okay? Is everything okay at home? She just kind of assaulted you. You can say that I'm harping on like a small detail, and it's like, oh, nobody would notice, nobody, you know, it's like you're just looking too deep into it. She literally does it twice. She does it twice. The second time, that before you're supposed to have sex, if you choose the wrong ending, which is where you kill your friends and bang her, she forcefully makes you drink the acid poison trippy juice again while you're tied up. So she's forcing you to take basically the Bill Cosby drugs before she's like, you want to sleep with me and kill your friends or save your friends, after she's giving you the drug to try to get you to sleep with her. Obviously this shows experience because she knows what the drug does and how it worked in the past. She might actually be Bill Cosby.
Yeah, I'd just like to clarify here. She didn't actually make you drink the juice when you were tied up. That was a mistake on my recollection. But she does drug you before you have to make that decision. She like blows another drug up your nose and then you're trippy and that's how you get tied up in the first place. So either way, she gave you more drugs before making you do that decision. So I am standing by my point.
I just thought it was funny that nobody has talked about this. And the first time I played it, I was like 13 to 14. When you're a kid, you're like, oh, titties. Nice. Hopefully there's more in the rest of the game, and you don't really care about the scenarios that you're like in. But looking at it as like a fully grown adult, you can't really just look past it. You kind of realize how fucked up Citra is. Literally a sexual predator, and nobody mentions it anywhere. The only place that I could kind of find it was in Wikipedia. Citra has sex with Jason while he is under the effects of hallucinogens.
Or, in more simple terms, Citra assaults Jason.
Can you imagine if you were a female protagonist in that scenario, and then you come out of your trip and a male is having sex with you when you're on a trip? Like, the media would have ate Ubisoft a new asshole for like the next year. Granted, I can't hate Ubisoft because I guess they knew their target demographic wouldn't give a shit about that happening. Like, to be honest, I don't think it's that big of a deal. It is a video game, however. Apparently it's not because nobody else has brought this up, but maybe I'm the one wrong and just completely am misunderstanding the situation. But that's basically it. I just wanted to talk about why I think Citra is a sexual predator, or at least doesn't have very good morals. Questionable at the very least. And yeah, if you like this, leave a sub and a like. Helps me out a lot. Later.